As we journey back to the 1950s and 60s, we find ourselves in the golden age of aviation. It was a time of rapid development and intense innovation, an epoch where the skies were no longer the limit. The advent of jet engines marked a significant milestone, propelling us into a new era of speed and efficiency. But perhaps more exciting was the birth of commercial air travel. Suddenly, the world shrunk. Exotic locations were no longer confined to the pages of adventure novels. They were just a flight ticket away. At the heart of this revolution was Air India, a fledgling carrier from a newly independent nation. With characteristic flair and determination, Air India transformed itself from a regional player to a global powerhouse. It embodied the optimism and ambition of the times. It was in this era of excitement and progress that our story unfolds. January 24, 1966, Air India Flight 101 took off from Bombay, destined for London. Aboard this flight were 117 souls, each with their own stories, their own dreams. Among the passengers was Dr. Homi J. Bhabha, the father of India's nuclear program, on his way to a scientific conference. The flight crew, piloted by an experienced Captain Gilbert Simmons, was equipped to handle any situation. The Boeing 707 roared down the runway, lifting off into the clear morning sky. The plane, a symbol of the golden age of aviation, was a marvel of engineering. Once airborne, the aircraft set course for its first stop, Delhi. From there, it would continue on to Beirut, then Geneva, before finally reaching its destination in London. As the plane cruised over the Indian subcontinent, the passengers settled in for the long journey. Some read, some slept, and others gazed out of the window at the passing landscape. The hum of the engines was a comforting lullaby, a reminder of humanity's triumph over the skies. The flight path took the aircraft over some of the most breathtaking views in the world. The towering peaks of the Himalayas, the verdant fields of Punjab, the majestic coastline of the Arabian Sea. The weather was clear, with mild turbulence expected over the Alps, nothing that the seasoned crew couldn't handle. As the plane approached Beirut, the flight crew began their preparations for landing. The atmosphere in the cockpit was calm, professional. Routine checks were carried out, altitudes confirmed, landing gear tested. It was just another day in the office for these men of the sky. After a brief stop in Beirut, the plane took to the skies again, setting course for Geneva. The passengers were served dinner, the hum of conversation filled the cabin. Everything was as it should be, but as the aircraft neared Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps, an eerie silence fell over the cockpit. The last communication from the flight crew, a routine altitude check, echoed ominously in the control tower. Everything seemed normal until the last communication from the cockpit. The unexpected happened. The plane crashed into Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps. Imagine the confusion and panic that unfolded in the control tower as they lost contact with Air India Flight 101. The operators, trained to remain calm in the face of adversity, found themselves in a whirlwind of uncertainty. The radio crackled with static, the line to the aircraft ominously silent. The radar screen showed the dreadful truth. The plane had disappeared from view, swallowed by the formidable Mont Blanc. Rescue attempts were immediately launched, but the treacherous terrain and the unforgiving weather conditions made the mission a daunting task. Helicopters battled against the biting wind, their rotors slicing through the thick veil of snow, but to no avail. The mountain in its icy splendor guarded its grim secret well. In the aftermath of the crash, the entire world watched in stunned disbelief. The loss was immense, and the grief unbearable. The plane, once a symbol of human achievement and progress, was now a twisted mass of metal, strewn across the icy slopes of Mont Blanc. The lives of all those aboard, their dreams and aspirations, were extinguished in an instant. In the following days, the grim task of recovering the wreckage began. The debris was scattered over a wide area, a chilling testament to the sheer force of the impact. Among the wreckage, personal belongings were found, a poignant reminder of the vibrant lives that were lost. Each item, whether a watch stopped at the moment of impact or a family photograph, told a story of a life abruptly ended. The crash of Air India Flight 101 shook the world to its core. The human cost was immeasurable, and the physical wreckage was a stark symbol of the tragedy. Many questions remained unanswered, and the search for answers would continue for years to come. The crash of Air India Flight 101 remains one of the greatest disasters in aviation history. In the wake of the tragedy, the aviation industry was forced to reevaluate. The aftermath of the Air India Flight 101 crash was a period of profound introspection for the aviation community. As the investigators meticulously pieced together the events that led to the incident, it became increasingly clear that there were gaping holes in the safety protocols that needed to be addressed. The crash triggered a series of in-depth investigations, both domestically and internationally. The findings were stark, revealing a combination of mechanical failure and human error. This shocking revelation sent ripples of concern throughout the industry. In response, aviation authorities worldwide began a rigorous review of their procedures and protocols, prompting a major overhaul in aviation safety regulations. The changes were sweeping and comprehensive. They ranged from enhanced pilot training and stricter maintenance checks to the introduction of more advanced navigation systems. There was a renewed emphasis on crew resource management, recognizing the importance of effective communication and decision-making within the cockpit. Additionally, the crash underscored the need for more stringent aircraft design standards, leading to the development of safer, more reliable aircraft. Inevitably, the transformation was a slow process, fraught with challenges. Yet, with each step, the aviation industry moved closer to its ultimate goal, ensuring the safety of its passengers and crew. The incident served as a harsh reminder of the risks involved in air travel, leading to significant improvements in aviation safety. The story of Air India Flight 101 is a tragic but important chapter in the history of aviation. It reminds us of the golden age of air travel, the fateful journey of the ill-starred flight, the heartbreaking incident, and the aftermath. This tale of human endurance and the pursuit of safer skies has been etched into the annals of aviation history. As we remember those who lost their lives, we also recognize the lessons learned from this tragedy, which have undoubtedly saved countless lives since.